Hare Krishna children, welcome back. I am Pinky and we're going to continue learning about the Bhagavad Gita today. I am super excited to see you. We're going to learn the most essential part of the Gita starting from today. So please pay close attention. Alright, so before we start, let's say our magic words. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I bow to the Lord who lives in all beings. All right, so just to recap, the last section we talked about Dhyana Yoga, and we talked about how Arjuna himself says, oh my God, this is so difficult and it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of time. This is not something that is going to work for me. And then Krishna ends the chapter saying Bhakti Yogi is the dearest to God. Okay, so let's look at Bhakti Yoga. So the next few sessions, we're going to talk specifically about Bhakti Yoga itself. So Gita is compared to a treasure chest, right? So when you look at a treasure box, it has three parts. There's a lid, there's a base, and then the treasure is in the middle, right? So just like that, we're entering into the middle 6 chapters of Gita, and this is the most essential part of Gita. As Krishna starts this chapter, he specifically says, now here Arjuna, it's not like Arjuna wasn't paying attention, but he is just emphasizing that he's going to impart some important knowledge. Okay, so listen carefully. All right, so Krishna says the knowledge he's about to impart is ultimate, and he goes on to saying that there's only a rare few that are interested in this knowledge. Okay, so for example, there's so many millions of people out there. Okay, but at any given time there may be a few hundred, say even a few thousand that are interested in learning or are taking, reading the Gita or the Bhagavatam, or are taking some sort of class. And among all of those, there's only a handful or a rare few that end up understanding him fully. Okay, so here Krishna is saying that because of his material energies like your earth, water, fire, space, air, and mind, ego, and intelligence, and the spiritual energy, because of the combination of these two energies is how the universe is formed. Okay, and he's saying that it's a presence of the super soul Vishnu that has developed, that's a reason for developing the universe, right? So he's giving you an example like you see here in the picture, that he is the source of all the energies from which all the universes arises. Okay, so Krishna goes on to say, like, my part in all of this is like a thread that holds a pearl necklace together. Okay, you're seeing all the worlds that are visible just like the pearls are visible, but you don't necessarily always see the connecting threads, right? So Krishna is like the thread, the invisible thread in the back that is holding all of the universes in place. Okay, and he gives a few examples of his essence. He says that he is the taste of the water that quenches our thirst. He is the light of the sun and the moon. And he is the original seed of all the existence. Okay, and you may say, but Brahma is the creator. Where does Krishna come into play? Right? So think about it. So think about Brahma as a farmer. Okay, the farmer needs the seed to sow it, so in that way he can grow crops, right? So the seed is coming from Krishna, but Brahma is using the seed from Krishna to create the universe. So Krishna is the source of all creations. Okay, so when we surrender to Krishna, and then we become free from all our desires, angers, all of that. Krishna is very merciful. Okay, but he says, even knowing all of, even with everything I've said, there are a few people that, that are foolish, that are ignorant, that don't surrender to me, or they say, no, God doesn't exist, no, I'm too busy to read this at this time, things like that. Okay, but he goes on to say, but there are four types of people, and this is the important part. There are four types of people who actually surrender to me. Okay, so he says one is distressed. So if somebody is in trouble and you're praying to Krishna to come save you from something. So those would be people who are distressed. And then there are people who are desiring wealth that pray to Krishna. And then there are people who are just inquisitive. They just want to know who and how. And because of that inquisitiveness, they start reading and they start learning more about Krishna. And then the fourth category is a wise person. Okay, so over many births, a wise soul dedicates everything and surrenders completely to Krishna. Okay, one example is Srila Prabhupada. It's thanks to him that we have access to this wonderful knowledge. Okay, now regardless of what got you into to looking for Krishna or seeking Krishna's mercy, all of these four types of people eventually get to Krishna. One is, it's just different, what you call different paths or different reasons that you start going towards Krishna. But once you find Krishna, then everybody becomes dedicated to him. Once you know him, once you see him, then you automatically dedicate everything and you surrender to him. Okay. So then he talks about, but Arjuna says, but what about all the Devi and Devatas? And Krishna says, only all the Devatas get their powers from me. And when somebody prays to the Devis or Devatas, it is Krishna who is fulfilling their wish. Okay, but we see a lot of people these days. They say they may pray to a god saying, God, I will do such and such thing, or I make so and so donation, or I will bring so much prasad if I pass in my exam, or if I get this job, or things like that, right? So that becomes a transaction. There's not always love for that devi or devata. It just becomes a mere transaction. They do some prayers, austerities, they do some seva, and then deva becomes happy, devi or devatas become happy, and they get what they want. Okay, and since it's a material desire that gets granted, that is a short-lived, right? It's not a permanent happiness or permanent peace or things like that. They are just focused on short-term goals. Okay, but remember, even if you're praying to all these devis and devatas, it is Krishna who is giving them the power. And even when you're praying to them and getting something from the devi devatas, it is Krishna's blessings that makes that happen. Okay. All right. So there are some ignorant people that may say, but Krishna doesn't exist. Okay. So think about this. So as you guys all kids, you may have at some point pretended to be a doctor when you're playing, right? You have these toy stethoscopes and injections and all of that, right? Just because you're acting as a doctor, that doesn't mean that you're able to understand and treat an illness, right? There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of practice involved to be able to understand and treat an illness, right? That a person goes through so many years of education and practice to be able to get to a point where they're able to treat somebody, right? Similarly, everyone cannot see Krishna and understand him. We need a lot of knowledge and practice in serving Krishna to be able to gain that transcendental knowledge and develop that transcendental love for Krishna. Okay, this is why we should live piously and give our best in everything we do and dedicate it all to Krishna, because he is, like I said, is the source of all things. Okay, so we'll stop here for today, but we'll continue with our Maha Mantras before we end the class. We're going to chant them for about 10 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you children so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Hare Krishna. Bye.